Hey guys, welcome back to the Prehistoric Life Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Crawford, and today we're diving in with another battle for the tournament. This time, it is the most classic combination of dinosaur versus prey, of predator versus prey, Tyrannosaurus Rex versus Triceratops, the Cretaceous Classic, of course. We already had the Jurassic Classic, now we have the Cretaceous Classic. So today we're going to go ahead and dive in with T-Rex. We're going to start off our big old, whatchamacallit. Dive in with T-Rex, maybe. So T-Rex comes in at a, okay, hang on. At a whopping 4 meters or about 13 to 20-ish feet tall. These things get big. I'd give it 13, about 13 feet tall. And coming at a whopping 42 feet long, 40 to 42 feet long. T-Rex also weighs 5.5 to 6.5 tons. So these things are massive. 5.5 to 6.5 tons. That is a lot of weight to be moving around behind this giant absolute unit of a monster of a beast. And probably the most notable thing about the T-Rex is the absolute unit, which is its bite force and its teeth. And of course, you know that you have these giant monster teeth with a bite force of about 35,000 newtons of force, as opposed to a human's 300 newtons of force. Wow. Okay. Yeah. This absolute unit of a monster of a T-Rex, of Tyrannosaurus. Wow. Okay. Yeah, T-Rex is not something to be trifled with. It is massive. It weighs a lot. It has the strongest bite force of any dinosaur out there. Well, of pretty much anything, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, these things are massive. They weigh a lot. But one thing that is still in question is whether Tyrannosaurus is a scavenger or an actual predator. I would say that it's probably a bit of both. Opportunistic scavenger. So if he sees a dead animal, of course, he's going to eat it because, I mean, free meal. But the way predators usually hunt is they don't go after healthy adults. And that's what we're putting it up against, a healthy adult bull Triceratops. So let's get into Triceratops sizes. So here's the Triceratops. Coming in at, again, a whopping 4 meters tall. Or, if you will, 13 feet. These things are tall, and I think that is underrepresented usually. They're tall, and they have really long horns, about 1.5 meter long horns. And that's meters. So if you don't know what that means, that's 4.9 feet. So yeah, and they're coming in at a whopping 9 feet long, or 9 meters long, which is 29, about 30 feet long. And they weigh about 6.6 to 11 short tons. So the thing about Triceratops is the only real disadvantage it has is its bite force. But Triceratops isn't going to be biting T-Rex. Triceratops won't be biting T-Rex. It'll be trying to stab it with its horns while T-Rex tries to bite it. So Triceratops actually does have the range advantage. It's about the same height as T-Rex, which is actually insane to think about. That T-Rex and Triceratops were roughly the same height. Also, I think I've done this battle before. I don't remember. But still, I'm gonna redo it because whatever. It's absolute insanity to think that T-Rex and Triceratops were the same height, but they were. They were close to the same height. T-Rex is longer. It's a bit longer. It weighs less, so Triceratops has more to throw around. The only real advantage Rex has over Triceratops is its bite force. It will be able to bite through the frill really easily. It'll be able to shear it. But Triceratops has that range advantage. This is T-Rex. And something else I would like to point out is I'm just going to put this up here. Triceratops would win the fight 70-30. These horns are just so lethal and are too much for T-Rex to handle. Most of the time, trike because it's a herbivore, and herbs win against predators 9 times out of 10. So if this were an elderly Triceratops or a baby Triceratops, T-Rex would have absolutely no problem. It would gore it, rip it apart, drag it off, and eat it. But that's the thing. It's not going to be a elderly Triceratops or a baby Triceratops or a sick Triceratops. It's going to be an adult, healthy Triceratops. T-Rex is going to be an adult, healthy, in prime Tyrannosaurus. So it's not really going to be that much of a competition, but we'll go ahead and dive right into it after this short sponsor break. So Eric, take it away.
Thanks, Podcast Eric. Now let's talk about today's sponsor, Dinosaur Trips. If you love looking at these amazing creatures that I show you, and even talking about these amazing creatures that I talk about, and you want to go see them in real life, I heavily suggest you look at Dinosaur Trips. Dinosaur Trips, created by Zach, gives you behind-the-scenes in-look at museums, and he even takes people out to digs. So if you sound interested in that, go to www.dinosaurtrips.com and tell them that Prehistoric Life sent you, and they will give you $250 off your tickets. And here's their Instagram if you're interested in giving them a follow.
So thank you, advertising, Eric. So let's dive right into this battle with a bloodbath. A lone Triceratops feeds in the Hell Creek Formation. Unmoving, uncaring, as it hears a roar and the stomping of a T-Rex. T-Rex turns a corner and sees the adult Triceratops. T-Rex is hungry. Triceratops is alone. It snorts and shakes its frills as it revs its leg back. preparing for a fight like a bull. T-Rex roars and charges into Triceratops, but Triceratops charges back. The T-Rex goes to bite at its frill, but Triceratops takes its large horn and gores right into, barely missing the heart and hitting the shoulder, piercing its horn all the way through the arm of T-Rex as it jerks its head. The other horn hits the face of the T-Rex, knocking it to the ground as it rips the small arm of the T-Rex clean out of its body. T-Rex gets up, blood dripping from where its arm used to be, and it roars at Triceratops, charging in. Triceratops charges in again, but T-Rex is able to evade and bite the horn, crunching down on the horn, snapping and severing clean through the horn. Triceratops takes the small horn and uppercuts T-Rex. It pierces the bottom jaw of the T-Rex all the way through the mouth as it jerks its head down, blood gushing out of its mouth. T-Rex then takes its head and whacks the side of the face of T-Rex with it, or Triceratops with its head. T-Rex goes to bite, and it bites the frill. It's trying to bite the frill, if you will, for the lack of better demonstration. It's trying to bite the frill, but the Triceratops' frill is too much. It takes that last horn and slashes across the face of T-Rex, the point gouging out the eye, tearing open the complete side of the face. T-Rex is roaring out in pain as it charges in. It bites the face right about here, actually. It bites the face, and Triceratops is freaking out. It takes his good horn and jerks his head, ripping some of the flesh from the bottom jaw and the upper part of the face here. But it takes that horn and hits the snout right there. It hits and cuts open where the nose is, completely through. T-Rex and Triceratops are head on now as they roar at each other. T-Rex is roaring as Triceratops charges in. T-Rex gets ready to bite the frill of the Triceratops, and it bites the top of the Triceratops as it revs its body up. But Triceratops keeps going, lifting the T-Rex up. Its superior weight and strong neck are allowing it to do this. But T-Rex is trying to hold on to the ground for dear life. This actually doesn't aid the T-Rex as the Triceratops keeps charging in, and its one good horn piercing all the way through the chest of the T-Rex, stabbing the T-Rex right through the heart. Triceratops then jerks its head back as T-Rex stumbles around, blood gushing from its chest. And as it tries to roar, it spits up blood. It's dazed. It's about to collapse, but it turns to the side, and Triceratops quickly charges in, its horn piercing through the eye holes, whoosh, all the way through the skull, rupturing the brain of the T-Rex, killing it. As Triceratops jerks its head back, T-Rex collapses to the ground, unmoving, unresponsive. Triceratops snorts as it goes back to grazing. So, yeah, there you go. T-Rex, while it's a powerful predator, would not go for a adult, fully healthy, grown Triceratops. Just not smart for that, for it to do that. It would go for weaker ones. It would go for baby ones. It wouldn't go for adult, healthy Triceratops. And this is a matchup that probably happened a few times. Maybe not ending the exact way with the total fatality, dramatic finish, but it would end most of the time. If it was a adult, healthy Triceratops, it was a T-Rex, and they were locked in a battle to the death, the Triceratops would probably come out on top most of the time. Not saying that T-Rex didn't win. I'm sure there were many occasions where T-Rex was able to maneuver to the side and take a chunk out of the Triceratops, or it just left because it knew it wasn't worth its time. But it's not going to actively hunt adult healthy Triceratops. But if you want to see additional content from me, go check out my Instagram page at prehistoriclifepodcast.com or at Prehistoric Life Podcast on Instagram. I post reels, other content. I show you usually what's coming out in the week, things like that. I've been posting a lot more for Jurassic June. Oh, yeah. Happy Jurassic June to you all. It's still Jurassic June. If you want to see my content 2-ish days earlier, I try to post it a bit earlier on my YouTube page just to kind of be like, hey, go check it out there. Go subscribe there. So, yeah. And if you want all of that in one place, go check out my website, prehistoriclifepodcast.com. From there, you can get to my YouTube and my Instagram, and you can usually just see everything. There's a little search bar. If you scroll far enough down, it shouldn't say that. It should have my Instagram there, but still, there's also a search bar. You can search what episode you want. But yeah, other than that, I'm your host, Eric Crawford, signing off. This has been Prehistoric Life Podcast, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.